The sound of keys jingling at the door echoed through the quiet apartment as Maria stepped inside, her shoulders heavy with exhaustion. She dropped her bag on the floor and sighed, glancing around at the scattered shoes, unwashed dishes, and the pile of unopened mail on the table. Life had become a cycle of endless work hours, rushing from one responsibility to another, and the home she once loved had turned into a cluttered reminder of everything she couldn't keep up with. To Maria, cleaning had started to feel like an impossible mountain, and with every passing day, guilt weighed her down even more. But tonight was different. Tonight, she made a promise to herself: things would change. She wanted to feel proud when she opened her front door, not defeated. She wanted her home to be her sanctuary, not her source of stress. The following morning, Maria pulled out an old box from the storage closet. It was dusty, tucked away behind forgotten holiday decorations. Inside lay a small notebook, its pages yellowed with time. It had belonged to her grandmother, a woman who had raised 5 children while working long hours, yet somehow kept her home spotless and full of warmth. On the first page, written in careful handwriting, were the words: "The secret to a sparkling clean home is not in the things you own, but in the love you pour into it." Maria smiled through tears as she read further. The notebook wasn't filled with expensive product lists or overwhelming schedules. Instead, it shared simple rituals. Start small, one corner at a time. Clear what you don't need, so you have space for what you love. Open the windows and let light remind you that fresh beginnings are always possible. Her grandmother's words seemed to breathe new life into her tired heart. That evening, instead of trying to tackle the whole apartment, Maria chose just one corner, the small wooden shelf by the doorway. She cleared the dust, arranged a vase of fresh flowers, and placed her grandmother's notebook there as a reminder. When she was done, something shifted inside her. That tiny, sparkling space gave her hope, and hope gave her momentum. Day by day, she continued. Some days she managed a room, other days, just a drawer. She discovered little tricks from the notebook: how a splash of vinegar and lemon could make the kitchen shine, how folding laundry immediately instead of leaving it in a basket saved her hours later, how soft music could make even scrubbing the floor feel less like a chore and more like an act of care. Slowly, Maria realized that cleaning wasn't just about dust and dirt, it was about creating an environment that nourished her soul. But challenges still came. There were evenings she came home drained, staring at the clutter and feeling like giving up. There were moments when the weight of life returned, and she doubted whether she could keep it up. Yet each time, she remembered her grandmother's voice in those pages: one step at a time. A sparkling home begins with a sparkling heart. Eventually, her apartment transformed. The dishes no longer piled up, the mail was sorted neatly, the living room invited peace instead of chaos. Friends who visited were amazed. "Maria, how did you do it? Your place feels so alive, so calming," they'd say. And Maria would smile, not boasting about expensive tools or rigid cleaning routines, but sharing the wisdom she had uncovered. It was never about perfection. It was about intention, love, and the courage to begin with just one small step. The true secret, she realized, wasn't hidden in products or fancy hacks, it was in the decision to show up for herself and her home every single day. By caring for her space, she was learning to care for her own spirit. And in the quiet glow of her sparkling home, Maria found a deeper truth: when you nurture your surroundings, you nurture your life.